Okay, so let's talk about the warm-up that we like to do using everything that we just learned. Okay? And this is like a warm-up that we're going to do at the beginning of every class for the week of closed guard. And it's a great way to cover going from like the worst position to getting closed guard, to getting your hip bump sweeps, so going on bottom to being on top, and even finishing somebody from that mounted position and having the other person being able to do the same. So it's like a full flow where you're getting exposure to everything, you're getting your body moving, and at the same time you get constant repetition of some vital things. So we'll cover more as we get to mount, of how to escape mount and stuff like that. But if you watch an intro course, it shouldn't be too rough. All right, so I'm in a closed guard, and so this is just a warm-up. This person isn't a dead fish, but it's not worlds. They're just being a good uki. They're just being a good training partner, okay? They're gonna make me earn it while at the same time not make me have to go live, okay? So I'm gonna go up, boom, hip bump sweep. I get here, I stay low, I walk in this Americana, reverse motorcycle grip, paint the mat, boom, I get the tap. Now she's gonna do fists and hips. She's gonna shrimp out. Notice, go back. Notice I didn't lift my hips like, oh, here you go. No, I'm trying to make her earn that shrimp. So she fists and hips, creating a frame so I can't move forward, and then she gets that closed guard. And now she's gonna hip bump sweep me. Boom. And she's gonna get the Americana. Boom. And now I'm gonna go from my fists and hips to closed guard. So I make fists, I find her hips, I push her off to the side just a hair. What I'm trying to do here is not push her off of me. I'm just trying to set it up so she can't follow me as I move my hips out from underneath her. Once my hips are far enough out from underneath her, I lock in my closed guard. So I went from being mounted to getting my closed guard back up to advancing my position to an Americana to getting the submission. So now without talking, this is what it's going to look like. And we can keep going. It's like an infinity flow, right? We can keep going and keep going and keep going. Just making that Americana a little bit better every time. Making that escape a little bit better every time. Getting that hip up sweep a little bit better every time, right? Just advancing a little bit. And that's a great way. You see we're already like breathing a little bit, right? And so I get practice with my hip bump sweep. I get practice with my Americana, my escape, right? And it's a great movement. Now, we're gonna go ahead and do the dummy sweep.
Okay. Start.
And another thing I forgot to mention is notice that we switched up sides.
Yeah.
Right? So we altered. So I did a hip bump sweep on my right side. Then I escaped to my left side. And then she did the vice versa. And then we go. So that way you're practicing getting escapes, Americanas, and hip bump sweeps on both sides.
And it becomes like more of a flow where you just instinctively do it. You're not thinking about it.
Yeah, and that's actually the whole point of these flows, right? Is we don't want to section it off one move at a time, right? You want to know instinctually what comes next. You're in a closed guard, you're passing, and we're about to do that one. You get into a closed guard, you're going for that hip bump sweep. You get that hip bump sweep, you're automatically going for an Americana or something else. You get put into a hip bump sweep, you're automatically going for the fists and hips and closed guard. You know what comes next. Excuse me.
You know what comes next.
You know what comes next automatically. You don't have to think about it. Okay? Jiu-jitsu, and we'll talk about this more as time goes on, but jiu-jitsu is taking overwhelming thoughts and controlling them and then domesticating them and then getting rid of them. It's crazy. You want your body to just know what comes next naturally without having to think about it. In the movie The Last Samurai, he says, too many mind. Too many mind. Meaning that you're thinking about it too much. You need to flow with it, right? And we have flows. We talk about, our name is Flow State Jiu-Jitsu. It's all about how your body becomes one with, like, they call it like the energy, right? Or whatever. But you're just getting into a flow state. In music, you hit it. In video gaming, you hit it. Where it's like, it's just natural. It's common. Your body's with it. Yeah. You're dancing, right? You're not, your brain's turned off and you're just being. You're just in the moment. And these flows that we have created are just a way of doing that. Hip bump sweep flow, right? Or we say, like, to the kids, hip bump sweep series. And that can mean a lot of different things. Dummy sweep, right? So if they stand up, you got something, right? And we have the flower sweep too that we can do, which we're going to do in the gi. And then you have hip bump sweep. And now we're going to do practicing breaking closing guard, right? All the way to the Americana, how to defend. We're not going to get into it, but just to do an arm trap roll and do it. So you should have most of the tools to do all this. So I'm in a closed guard, right? Here, boom, break, knee staple, practice this. Even in, hold on, let me start from the beginning, sorry. Even if you mess up, don't restart. You mess something up, oh, next time I know I need to fix that. Remember the phrase, we need to finish the phrase, okay? If all the details weren't perfect, fine. You fix it on the next phrase, okay? So, boom, lock in here. And we'll skip the Americana for now, but all she has to do right now is an arm trap roll. So she traps an arm, she bumps me over, boom. Now it's her job. And now I'm going to go the other way, right? And I already did it wrong. I put my hand up here instead of keeping it down here. So next time I got to fix that. So both Jade and I did it wrong. So now when I do it this time, I'm going to make sure I'm going to try and perfect that. I'm not thinking about the details, right? I'm just thinking about doing the move and perfecting it better each time I do it. Good. And then let's scooch down this way. And now you can also do this one, coaches, if you want to show them, with the Americana and the Americana defense. Okay, so close guard. So as I get here, I break this, knee staple, hug the head, knee on belly to mount. Now while I'm right here, I'm exposed to the arm trap roll, which is why Jade did it. But I can also come in here and lock in my Americana and get the Americana. Once I get the tap, Jade's going to grab my bicep. She's going to punch her arm straight and then grab it ahead and arm roll. Oh, and then she's back up. So now she's going to pass my guard. She's going to get the Americana. Go ahead. Once she gets the tap, she's going to keep this grip. So that way I can practice getting out of the Americana. So if I just straighten my arm, she can move her arms with me, which is no good, right? Because she can either get arm bars here or just finish the Americana. Sorry. So if I straighten my arm right here, she can just follow, which is no good because there's arm bars here and she can just pull it back in for the Americana. But if I grab her bicep, now when I straightened it and I got to be jerking motion, right, can she follow it? And the answer is no. And that locks me right up here to trap this and to do the bump and roll. So now you can even do that flow with an Americana added with the Americana defense, and you go, right? So as they get the practice getting the Americana, you get the practice doing the Americana defense, you get the arm trap roll. And we'll talk about this more in the mount series in the next module. But notice that when she's postured up, she gets practice finding the fists and hips to get out and finding her closed guard. All right. If my posture's compromised because I'm trying to go for something where my chest is low, now she gets practice doing a mount escape from the arm trap roll. So between all these, both of us get practice doing a fist and hips to escape, depending on one scenario, and the arm trap roll escape, depending on the other scenario. while we're all getting practice with a closed guard break, a closed guard pass, a closed guard sweep, right? And a top submission and a top escape or defense to the submission. So when you start class, you might do like 3 flows like this, depending on what the technique of the day is. Get those 3 flows in. You're kind of already working. Your body already knows what it wants to do. You're getting all the practice. You're making it just a little bit better every time. And you're working on getting rid of too many minds, right? You're just naturally trying to do the next step. You're not overthinking of it. This is not